With us now is 2 times light Supercross champion. Everybody knows him by his nickname, Bam Bam, Justin Barcia. Justin, welcome to MXTV, mate.
Thank you, yeah.
It's great to be here, and thank you very much for inviting us out to your property, mate. First of all, we ask it all the time, how did you get started into bikes?
Whew. Yeah, how I got started racing was, my dad raced a little bit when I was a kid, and my brother rode a little, and my parents one day, I didn't really do any crazy sports or anything. I always just rode my bike in the yard, and one day they said, you gotta, pick a sport or do something, and they told me if I wanted to do soccer, and my mom tried to get me in the car and bring me to soccer, and I said, no, I don't want to do that, and I got all upset, and she said, you want to race? And I said, yeah, and it took off after that.
Mum and Dad have been a massive part.
Oh yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have been able to do it without my parents, that's for sure. I mean, I don't know, my mom probably, she was nervous at first for sure, like any mom, because it is, it's a two-wheel motorsport, so it is a little crazy, but my dad loved it, of course, and they're a huge part of my whole career. Like I said, I wouldn't have been able to do it without them, so it's a big family sport for us anyway.
You started off very easily. You didn't go straight into nationals or anything like that. You stayed at home and just enjoyed it.
Yeah, I grew up in New York, and obviously you can't really ride in the winter. I did a little ice racing when I was younger, just to
really,
to keep in the winter. That's all you can do, really. Stud up the tires and go on the oval in the lake and do that. I stayed local for a long time, and just like I said, it was a weekend thing. Then I started getting better, and it just kind of the snowball effect just kept going and going.
Tell us about your nickname, Frog. I've never heard that before, and how did it come about? What does it mean?
Funny story, yeah. Frog was pretty much my first nickname throughout my amateur career before Bam Bam, and I was riding at the local track and chasing around some guys on big bikes, and one of my buddies was behind me on I was on an 80 at the time, and he was on a 250, and I kind of whipped it and looked back at him, and ended up, the track was really close to the pond, and I whipped it and just landed right in the pond. So. Yeah, it was funny. So after that, and I always kind of had my legs like all over the place when I rode, just kind of big on an 80, so it just stuck after that.
Is it more aggressive in the 450s? Because I know the 250s, it's like a fight for your life there, but how do you find the transition between the two? How do you find it?
The transition between 250s and 450s is definitely tough. I think the talent pool is, in the 250 class, it's huge, and the 450, I'd say it's about the same, but there's so much more experience in the 450 class. They're not as, crazy and like just wild like the 250 class. It's a little more, I wouldn't say calm, it's just, different feeling. The guys are extremely fast and a lot smarter. They've just been doing it for a longer amount of time, so for me, it's like, I'm learning, and I think I'm getting better and better every year, and, figuring out it's a long series. And
you're one of the very few riders now that keeps wearing a neck brace.
Yeah.
I think it's a very important thing for the kids. Tell us why.
I've been wearing a neck brace for, a really long time, and for most riders, it's a comfort thing. It's definitely saved me a few times because even this year I had a really bad crash overseas racing a Supercross, and someone landed on my helmet and my neck, and oh man, the neck brace did such a huge job. It was impressive. Like, I definitely should have broke bones, and luckily I just, had a lot of bruising and stuff. So it was, right then and there I said, these things save lives for sure. Alpine Stars has been a sponsor of mine, for a long time. I started wearing their gear a few years ago, and I've been wearing their protection stuff for as long as I can remember. The old equipment is built around racing, and it's definitely very impressive. I'm a strong believer in everything they make, and just a great family company. That's how it feels, just like a little mom and pop type of company. But it's now it's so huge, but they stick to their roots. With companies nowadays, it's hard to find that, so it's really impressive.